All right, members, if you would give your respects to Representative Rouson. He would like to say some parting words of his own. So if everybody would please grab their seats. And Representative Rouson, you're recognized at your leisure, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to thank Almighty God for the privilege to have served against the odds in a special election that I was projected not to win. But I'm grateful to the people of District 70 in Pinellas, Manatee, Sarasota, and Hillsborough counties for having elected me in that special and 4 subsequent elections. It's been an honor. I want to thank the REM group, the REM group. And for those of you who don't know, that stands for Radically Evolving Miracles. It's my Monday night Narcotics Anonymous group at Dix Village, for having kept me sober for the 7 years I've been up here. You know, sometimes this process, you may want to drink. And for those of you who are anonymous and need to know where REM group is, I have the address. I need to thank my lovely bride of 16 years, Angela. Baby, thank you. She could not be here today because she's doing what she does so that I can do what I do. And she's been mother and wife and caretaker and homemaker to these 5 young men who have grown up while I've been up here. Thank you. In addition to just being mama and wife, she does her own charitable and community things as president of the National Council of Negro Women, chair of the St. Anthony's Hospital Foundation Board, and the longest serving member of the Pinellas County Housing Authority. I don't know how she does it. And then if that's not enough, she puts up with me. That deserves an applause. I know she's watching, and thank you, sweetheart, for making a house a home and a serene place of retreat from the chaos of the world. I want to thank Matt and Becky Dolman of the Dolman Law Group for allowing me the privilege to practice and serve the public at the highest level. And thank you to Layla Wilson, my district secretary, who's my lifelong friend from 5 years old, and to Neil, who runs the Bradenton office, and my LA Jason, for being willing to work weekends, nights, and at my hours from can do to can't do no more. I want to thank the people of Mount Zion Progressive Missionary Baptist Church who have sustained me, and my pastor, Lewis Murphy, who gave the prayer on the floor of this house the day we adjourned early, which prayer is now recorded in the annals of the Florida Supreme Court when the suit was filed and the proceedings had to be recorded. And Pastor Murphy, thank you. Just didn't know your prayer would blow up the house. I have stayed the course. I have shown up. I have fought the fight. I have done the work, staying in this Capitol late and long, reading the materials and getting to know my area of the budget. And I need to thank the chairs of Justice Appropriations for the last 7 years, Sandy Adams and Rich Glorioso and Charles McBurney and now Larry Metz. And Chair Metz, thank you for your kindness, your inclusion, your respect that you've given me. I want to thank the House Democratic staff, particularly Durwood Brewer and David Grimes. And David, you've been there for questions and research and doing as much as you can with as much as you have. And Speaker, thank you. I made it my effort to build relationships with each of the speakers. You have been especially kind. And my first seatmate, Matt Hudson, who taught me how to push the button, when he stood on the floor of this house and recognized his grandparents and was able to name something after them, one of the most proud moments I will ever have is your allowing me to stand on this floor and recognize my daddy. Thank you. I want to thank Joanne Lesnoff and Loretta Darity, and some of y'all may not remember Loretta, but she was my first teacher. In fact, I'll never forget a tense moment in committee when Sandy Adams, I believed, had disrespected me as ranking, and Loretta recognized quickly that something was about to happen, and she stood up and stepped in between us. That took some courage. But it also taught me about how to handle disagreement in process and how you can make an adversary an ally on the next bill. I came into this process expecting to make changes of broad policy and bring billions of dollars, and that's billions with a B, back home. I wasn't able to do as much as I would have liked, but I came, I saw, I accomplished, I learned a lot. I learned how to work the front of the bill while protecting the back of the bill. I learned how to make provision in proviso and how to walk the halls and ask staff for help. And staff, thank you for never making me feel embarrassed about saying, I don't know, will you help me? And that's from the speaker staff to the appropriations staff to the Democratic staff, because staff can teach us a lot. I learned that in passing legislation, it's not as significant as the debate in losing or the journey into getting just a bill heard. I learned that politics does not always have to be partisan, and that relationships across the aisle can be as critical to success as relationships within your own caucus. And there are times when I have felt lonely, but never alone. To my other seniors, in the Democratic caucus particularly, thank you. We have survived, and I wish each of you greatness. I may not have pleased everybody, but I operated according to the dictates of my conscience. I operated, hopefully history will be kind, that I wanted great movement and power and energy and things for my district and for all of the citizens of the state of Florida. In closing, to those we leave the gavel, to those who pick up the baton, I paraphrase Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. And we may ask ourselves, who am I to be here in the Florida House? Who am I to sit in these chairs amongst these portraits of personalities, among these murals of history? But we are here, and each one of us is important because of our presence and because of what got us here. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Kathy, thank you for the lessons that you taught. Mia, thank you. You've been both friend and adversary. But I love you. Members, as I take my seat, to have slept in dole poles and places with no running water, to have experienced treatment centers and halfway houses, and have people look at you not for where you've been, but for where you're going, has been the greatest honor. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Representative Rouson, you've done great work on behalf of your constituency, sir. You've served your community well, and I have a feeling this isn't the last we'll see of you, so congratulations.